Hey everybody, welcome back to the Market Minute. I got 6 more cards to look at this week, and the theme here is low inventory. We're in a little bit of a lull, especially if we're using TCG Player. That's United States based, and that lull is here. There's some events going on around the world currently, but in the States right now, after Worlds, we're in a lull. But that lull is short lived because RTNs are right around the corner and they start in the beginning of January and then right into ProQuest season right after that. So what that means is these cards possible are going to start moving because of this low inventory, and we got to take a look at them, make sure we're paying attention. And if you need these cards, you might want to think about picking them up now. First card up here is Codex of Inertia. This one surprised me a little bit. $8.71 for the non-foil, $20 for the rainbow foil. There's only 16 of these on TCG Player right now. 8 rainbow foils. High low $2.31. The high $5.71 in the last 3 months. The graph there is showing the 1 month outlook, and it's just going up. And I think it's solely because of quantity. I poked around at some of the Mario lists that have been doing well, even the Marlin list that was showing up in LL for Worlds. Didn't really find any copies there, but this card is being sold and being picked up. I'm a little lost on where it's coming from. Maybe, we got a Slippy deck coming out. I'm not sure. Sound off in the comments below where this card is being played, because I can't find it, but it is moving. We see a bunch of copies moving in the last week or 2 weeks, and it's just 16 copies. That's like nothing, right? And Outsiders was a long time ago, and I'm not surprised to see these codexes start to creep up as we get further and further away. That was the only place to get them. And keep an eye on this one, $8.71. None have sold at that price just yet, according to the data, but they probably will start selling there. Let's talk about Splatter Skull. Non-foil is sitting at $6.50. Rainbow foil is sitting at $7. There's 37 non-foils on TCG Player, 10 rainbow foils. I saw this card in Rhinar on stream this weekend in Valencia. As Rhinar picks up fan favorites, right, as he picks up some valuable tools with that Armory deck. We're starting to see this card pop off. You can see the 3-month graph there. She's going straight up. Lots of copies sold. 3-month high low, $2.57 is the low. $9.99 is the high. So we're sitting below that low. But that $6.50 listing has a quantity of 17. Once we get through those 17, there's about 20 left. And then there's only 10 copies to $20. So it starts ramping up quite quick once we get past that $6.50. The rainbow foil, same thing. $7 is the low. Once those start selling through, we'll see that price ramp up. Rosetta cards, man. I talk about Rosetta so much on this channel, on this series, because the cards just seem very strong and very meta dependent, a lot of them, right, with the Earth Heroes and stuff. But even in expansion slots like Splatter Skull here, now that Rhinar is gaining some traction, starting to see this card move a bit. If you need them, pick them up at that $6.50 right now out of that 17 quantity listing before that listing evaporates. Adaptive Alpha Mold, a new card from Super Slam. Talking specifically about the cold foil here, and yes, the cold foil is going to have limited quantities and it's going to be low inventory just because that's how it works. Cold foils are hard to pull, but we're sitting at $38 right now for this card. 3-month high low, $22.95 is the low, $55 is the high. That $55 obviously coming in pre-orders. But this card's interesting because it has Battle Worn, it's base, it blocks for 1. There's 20 of them left on the market right now. You technically need 4 of these for Teklo, and we just got some really crazy spoilers for PQ season for Teklo Vossen. Now, there's been some rumblings on Twitter that Teklo Vossen is getting a lot of help and it's getting fixed. Those 2 cards that we see start that process. We got to see what else is in pin, but the next set seems to be helping out Teklo Vossen quite a bit. You need 4 of these. If you are a bling kind of guy, you're going to want to buy these sooner than later because they will go quick, and buying 4 of them for your set. But we got to see what's coming in the next set. I think there's going to be more cards for Tekla Lawson as well in that set. And this card is basically a must-have for him. And if you're looking for those cold foils and this EA treatment, you're going to want to pick them up now. Unsheathed. All right, we're back to Rosetta in this very same episode. Another expansion slot from that set. Non-foil sitting at 21.88. Rainbow foil sitting at 38.49. We got 28 non-foils on TCG Player right now. Very low inventory. 12 rainbow foils as expected. High low, 15 is the low. $30 is the high on this guy. So we're sitting below the high even right now. You can see on the graph it's dipped down a bit, but we see the quantities selling through during the sale this weekend, especially. I think this card is going to see a lot of play at local levels. Kasai is quite strong. If you're a Kasai one trick or she's one of your favorite heroes, you can do really well even at battle hardened level, things like that, right? We've seen her punch through sometimes. It really depends. If we get some balance changes, Compendium comes out, really can shake up some stuff. And this card is just sitting there and it is super low inventory and the price is reflecting that. This one's kind of already went where I think the last couple cards we looked at, maybe the price is under a little bit of where its quantity is at, but this one, quantity is matching the price on this one. Supply and demand, all that jazz. If you need Unsheathed for your RTN season, for your ProQuest season, you might want to grab them now because we are sitting at a bit of a dip down from that $30. Current funnel, yep, Rosetta again. Just saw this card being played out in a big way in Valencia. Acilio coming on the scene, really punching hard. He showed some legs at Worlds as well, and he's been on the come up here. Non-foil sitting at $26.50 for this card. Rainbow foil sitting at $32.60. 13 non-foils on TCG Player right now, 5 rainbow foils. This one is super thin. Maybe the thinnest one I am talking about today on this episode. High-low, $17 is the low, $31 is the high on this one. So we're sitting just below that for the non-foils. Yeah, blocks for 3. It's a blue, has go again, gives go again. It's a staple card and a must-have for Acilio. And, of course, this card's going to show up big at your locals and at your local meta. And obviously at the top meta, because we just saw it do very well at the calling. Yeah, I'll be really curious to see if we get some inventory backfill on these if we get to a certain price, right? At a certain price, people are going to just start selling the ones out of their collection. If you have some extra ones of these, you might want to think about doing some trades or whatnot. This one's quite high, and I think it's going to get higher, especially just since Acilio is performing very well right now. So one to keep an eye on. Maybe extract some value from your collection if you can. The last one, pain in the backside, another meta contender here. We saw Mario doing nasty things on stream this weekend in Valencia as well. Pain in the backside is part of those nasty things. Non-foil sitting at $26.89. Rainbow foils, $26.89. Yeah, that's not a typo. I double checked it. Just kind of weird. The inventory currently sitting at 2 non-foils. 26 rainbow foils. So if you like bling in your assassin deck, go ahead and grab 3 of those rainbow foils because they're good value at the moment. High low on the non-foils, $15 is the low, $35 is the high. So this one's always been right in this range. The hunted, we know quantities were limited. Some things happened, right? And we're pushing a year now away from the hunted being released, and assassins really are still a big part of the meta. And maybe even a Slippy comes back and Slippy plays this in his armory deck that's coming out, helps him get back into the meta. And just one to look at because this one's kind of bounced. You can see from the graph up and down. But again, the wall is happening right now. But this one leans more towards current funnel where it's already went or it's already been this priced in for a long time. So there's really no get it now before it goes up type conversation here. It's just where it is, and we got to see where it goes. I think at 2 non-foils, there's going to be some backfill of quantity coming onto TCG Player, but at what price? Do we see it start pushing over 30? Do we see those rainbow foils adjust? Once those non-foils aren't available to buy anymore, players will pick up those rainbow foils and shift that rainbow foil price up again. So worth keeping an eye on. But overall, low inventory always makes cards move very quickly. So these are 6 that we needed to take a look at today and keep an eye on as we get closer to that RTN season. That's going to do it for this episode, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week. Peace.